This is the Celt Father. My name is Mark Gunn, and today I'm going to talk about discontinued CDs and the modern music business. That's the topic. I posted a video on Facebook yesterday announcing a big sale on physical CDs that I plan to discontinue. And Chris asked me if I would stop playing these songs. So I will answer that in just a moment. First, I want to let you know, please share this podcast. That really helps to spread the word about it. And also, remember, you can download 21 Celtic MP3s for free and listen to the show at celtfather.com. All right, so first off, let me let you know that I have a big CD sale that is now running. I picked it up from a Gap sale that I saw, and basically, anytime you buy you buy one CD, it's regular price. But you buy two CDs, you save 10%. Buy 3 CDs, save 20%. Buy 4 CDs, save 30%. All the way up to 60%. Buy 7 CDs and you'll save 60% off the regular price, which makes the albums really inexpensive. It's a great deal, so go check it out. Now, these albums, though, are all albums that I plan to discontinue, at least selling physical copies of. I'm not discontinuing the online sales on MP3s, but if you want to own a physical copy of the CD, then I'm discontinuing it. And now the reason of this goes back to a blog that I posted, I think it was a couple weeks ago now, called Patronage in the 21st Century. The idea is that the music business is changing. CD sales are dropping. Streaming is the future. Spotify is blowing everything out of the water, and it's changed the way people consume music. I listen to Apple Music on my iPhone. Whenever I want to hear a new album, I do still buy stuff, but it's changing the way I listen. So change is coming. But the industry is not changing. And the only way professional musicians will make a living in the future is primarily through patronage. Live performances help, but any indie musician knows that, until you reach a certain level, you don't make a whole lot of money through live performances, even if you have a big fan base. It all comes through patronage. So to that end, I'm restructuring my entire business with Patreon as the center, and I'm looking for innovative ways to grow my patronage as well as my fan base. So I've been making these changes slowly over the past few months, but really the last month, it was actually at Dragon Con, I think, that I accepted this realization. Sales were down, definitely, at Dragon Con, which, there are many reasons for sales to drop. But I realized that patronage is what is going to make it help me to make a living in the future. So my goal is to get my patrons by the end of the year over, where I'm pulling in $1,000 per month. And that money goes not just to my, helping me to make a living, pay the bills, but it also helps me to do a lot more, including, advertise and promote myself. And that's really one of the big areas that reason I'm trying to grow this is because I've been using Facebook to the full degree. One of the reasons why I'm doing my Facebook live shows, why I just started a Facebook store where you can now get one of my Celtic Knot auto harp string pendants. I'm making a lot of changes to improve the quality of my interaction with people online, and in the hope that I'm going to increase my mailing lists, get more likes on Facebook, and be able to reach more people and make more fans. That's my ultimate goal, which, if I get them on the mailing list, then hopefully they will eventually become actual patrons. And again, so I can help make a living as a musician through patronage. That is ultimately my goal for the future. CD sales will change. And I'll tell you about that more in a minute. Here are some of the changes that you can expect over the next year. Now, one of the changes I want to do is I want to start giving out a free EP every month through my mailing list. 4 songs. Patrons will get full access to these short albums. But this, of course, is for my entire mailing list, not just patrons. These albums will be just me and the auto harp, but the best of these songs may end up in full albums complete with musical instruments like most of my albums. I may also release the EPs on Bandcamp, but I'm not sure. These might be fan-only albums. I also am planning a monthly ebook style newsletter, and I actually wrote one, and I think I forgot to send it out in my latest newsletter because I was trying to compile my freebies for the month into one big package, and I just didn't have time to finish that. But my hope is to have a fan interactive e-zine, and that means that you will be contributing news and articles and such. But I'll show you soon. I'm getting ready to send it out, and you can see what you think. That is one of the big changes. So these are things that I'm hoping to offer for free through my regular newsletter that anyone can sign up for. You can get a free EP every month, and you can get this newsletter, which has details about what's happening in the gun runner community. Yes, it'll be news about me in the past, but also, what you are doing. I want, everyone is important in this and building this Celtic geek community. And so that's my goal with these newsletters. I like the one that I just wrote. So I'm going to, like I said, I'll be sharing that in the next edition. If you're not signed up, go to CelticDownload.com and subscribe. So that's where the freebies that I'm going to be, some of the freebies that I'm going to be giving out. Obviously, the patrons will have full access to all of these back EPs, whereas the newsletter subscribers will just get it for a month and see how that works. Now, as far as things stay the same, I will continue to use Kickstarter to raise money to pay for the production of my main albums. The physical copies will probably be limited to 300 to 500, depending on demand. If I sell out of the first printing, I may reprint it if it's a popular title, but my goal is I have probably 10,000 CDs sitting in my garage that are not selling. Some of them, I sell an album a year. It's one of the reasons why I did a big giveaway at Dragon Con. It's one of the reasons why I'm willing to give away a free CD like I did last month to anyone who became a patron, because these are albums, they're all paid for. Most of them are all paid for. And so it's not that I need to make the money. I want them out of my life. I don't want to have them cluttering my garage anymore if they're not going to sell. And that's the change that I'm pushing right now. Now, again, you may have noticed that a lot of these items are... and I do need to figure out a way, some sort of swag, which I can sell. I haven't figured out what that is yet, because t-shirts are touchy business, because people would rather, first off, buy CDs or have music. So shirts don't work as well. Then there's other stuff, and then of course there's all the sizes. I get left up with a bunch of small CDs, small shirts. So having them on hand to sell is not very useful. I have set up a great agreement with a White Line Screen Printing, Tim White, who has a screen printing company, and he prints my Kilted for Pleasure shirts. He prints my Irish and Celtic Music podcast shirts, and I can pretty much create a design and he'll print it. But obviously, designs aren't all that sells shirts. Good slogans sell shirts, and what's going to actually get them to sell, it's tough to figure out. Which is why I'd like to find another product that's sort of a regular, changing product that I can sell, and I haven't figured out what that is yet. If you have any ideas, I'd love your thoughts. Now, again, you might have noticed that a lot of these items are for my regular email subscribers, and my hope is to attract new fans to my mailing list and then eventually convert them into patrons. However, patrons will continue, like I said, to get all the past albums, plus bonus stuff like live audio and video concerts, as well as all the other bonuses that I am currently offering. And I think I've tried to set this up so that it is an amazing deal. For just $1 a month, You can watch past videos, listen to past concerts. It's an incredible, I think it's an incredible resource. You tell me, because all you have to pledge is $1 a month. You can pledge more. People are doing $5, $10, $25. Had people pledge $50 per month. Whatever works for you works for me. My goal is to get as many people doing this as possible. Obviously, if I could get everyone to do $5, $10, I would hit that $1,000 goal a lot quicker. But I have to make this special for fans, and that's ultimately my goal. Obviously, I have a lot of free content that I offer. I've been offering free content since I started, pretty much, playing music. It's been a big part of my growth. I realize, though, with my mailing list, I haven't been doing that for a while, and I think it's a large part it's been laziness on my part. It's difficult because I have a couple projects. I have the Irish and Celtic Music podcast, and I publish that newsletter every week. And so it's difficult putting out multiple newsletters. It would be nice if I could consolidate them, but I'm not going to. They are different markets. So my goal, again, is to increase my subscribers to my mailing list, and then obviously to increase my patronage. With the ultimate goal of trying to figure out how to continue to make a living as a musician. I want to keep putting out albums. I love creating albums. I'm very proud of the work that's coming out of the new Kilted King CD. The album's called Name on My Soul. It is shorter than I like, but only 10 tracks. But it's a really good album, and it sounds really good. But the cost is much more expensive than I'm expecting. Right now, I think it's going to be costing us about $2,000 for the mixing that Rich Brotherton did, and a lot of the money that we had set aside for this album is already gone. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge on trying to figure out how to do this and how to continue to make a living as a musician. Obviously, live performances has long been the number one way for musicians to make an income. And if I was doing those regularly, that would be awesome. But I have a family. I consider that super important. I love my wife. I love my children. I like being at home more, and I like creating podcasts. I like creating content that I can share. It's one of the reasons why I need to get back to the EPs. Why I want to do these EPs is because I want to create new music, and I've been lazy. So that's going to change for the future. My hope is to release more music for you. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully I will have some more to share in the future. Before I finish, I do want to send out a special thanks to all the gun runners who are currently supporting me on Patreon. You can become a patron for just $1 more a month. And you can help me make a living as a musician. You'll get free music, early versions of songs and lyrics, behind-the-scenes podcasts, and first look at new videos. You can find all the details at markgunn.net. And for the next week, from December 7th through the 14th, October 7th through the 14th, 2016, if you sign up over on Patreon, I will send you a free album, which is Soul of a Harper. I'm going to do this as a limited but make sure you mention that you heard it here on the Celt Father podcast. The Celt Father is produced by Mark Gunn. If you enjoyed this album, then please post a review on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. I want to invite you again to my website at keltfather.com. You can subscribe to my mailing list and download a free album. You'll enjoy hours of music and a few free gifts, as you heard in this show. Thank you again for listening. I would love your feedback and thoughts. Please send that in. You can send it to mark@markgunn.com. Thanks so much. Sláinte.